All these years that I've been living before, I asked myself, what was I missing? And the thing that I was missing was finally connecting to my feminine energy. Feminine energy, it already exists in every single woman. And I realized that I lack a lot of feminine energy when I noticed that I was trying to be hyper independent and to be in hustle mode all the time, which is really unnatural to be as a woman. So when I started to hear about feminine energy, I was like, immediately, my mind was blown. I wanted to know more about it. And as soon as I started to realize that feminine energy is what makes a woman so magnetic and so radiant and creates so much flow and ease for her, I started to notice that this is what I was missing all the time. Hi guys, it's Lina Amaya. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 things that I do on a daily basis in order to stay in my feminine energy. So before we start, I want you to know that feminine energy is all about being in your body instead of your head. So what it looks like, okay, let's say you're walking down the street and you're constantly thinking about, is my dress fitting well? Do I look good? Do I walk good? Like stuff like that. But if you're in your feminine energy, you are in your body and you're probably enjoying what you see. You're enjoying the beautiful air, the beautiful sun on your skin, the nice stores that you see. So when you are in your feminine, your mind is basically switched off and all you can do is feel. When you are in your feminine energy, you're going to attract naturally. You're not going to have to do anything at all. If you are connected to your feminine energy, you are a natural attractor. You are not in a chasing mode. Whenever you notice that you actually switch into the chasing mode, just know that you are not in your feminine energy anymore. Feminine energy, it feels like being at home with yourself. If you think about going on vacation, okay, let's say you go on vacation and your mind is totally switched off. You do not think about, I have to do this, I have to do that, oh, I have so much to do, and this and this and this and that, and how am I going to do that? No, you are only in the moment and you're only enjoying. You're enjoying going to the beach, getting well dressed, having a nice dinner. Your mind is completely switched off. And how do you feel? You feel amazing, because that's actually you connecting to your feminine energy. And why do we always need to be like that only on vacation? You can be like that on a daily basis, right? The most funny thing to me is when I was hyper independent and I was in my masculine energy all the time. Or let's say I tried to be in my masculine energy all the time. First of all, I felt really disconnected from myself and I felt like I'm denying myself. And what it felt like is, it felt like I'm going against the wind, because that's not who I was supposed to be, and I was not supposed to be in my masculine, because as a woman, you are not entirely meant to be in your masculine energy. And the funny thing is that when I was this hyper independent woman that I thought would be attractive and I thought would be good, I absolutely did not attract anything. Actually, I repelled everything in my life. And at this time, I was really desperate to have a relationship, but I would not get it. And I asked myself, why? But I'm saying what everyone wants to hear. It's so wrong. When you are in your feminine energy, that's when you are attractive, not when you are masculine energy. Masculine energy, when you look out there, you see enough of it. There's enough of masculine energy. People trying to make money all the time, people trying to be perfect all the time, people trying to be in hustle mode all the time. It's not going to make you happy. But I must say that being in your masculine energy as well is really important, because if you are only in your feminine energy, this is going to cause something like depression. You're going to feel really unhappy, because if you're only in your feminine energy all the time, too much pleasure, it will make you really unhappy. So you can think about it like an egg, okay? So the feminine energy is the yellow of the egg and the masculine energy is supposed to be the shell of the egg. And what if we don't have the shell? Then the egg hasn't any foundation to be kept, right? So masculine energy is important as a woman, and I can make a video on how to use the masculine energy as a woman as well. But if you want to be happy as a woman, you want to be let's say 70% in your feminine energy and 30% in your masculine energy. So the number one thing is, what I do on a daily basis is grounding and connecting to nature. So I'm not feeling ashamed to take off my shoes and walk on the grass barefoot. And I remember, like, I put all my friends and I even put my partner on it, okay? And if I can get a man to do that, then I can get you as well to do that. Because look, I take off my shoes and I walk on the ground. And the first thing I start to feel is something like tingling in my feet. And that, when I first felt it, it blew my mind. Because how is it possible that if I walk on the ground barefoot, that my foot starts to tingle? Ever since I did that, I do it every day. And my energy is different. I feel balanced, I feel connected to nature, I feel very calm, and I feel very confident. And also, if you think about it, if you are at the beach, how do you feel like? You feel like the most amazing version of yourself because you're constantly connecting to nature. You're walking on the ground barefoot all the time, right? You are actually swimming in the ocean, so it is some sort of connecting to nature. And you feel the most amazing and the most balanced when you do that. And I remember one day, so it was full moon, and this full moon, it was so intense. And all I had to do was to be in arguments and fight all the time. And I was like, what is going on to me? The next day, I went to nature and I committed my whole day just to nature. What I did, I went swimming, I went walking in the forest, I took off my shoes, I walked on the ground barefoot, and after that, everything of that, the whole negative energy was completely gone. The second thing is, I know y'all don't want to hear it, but movement. Movement is so important, not only for your health. We all know that movement is, first of all, okay, so movement, it actually makes the blood circulate through your whole body. And if you move, after that, what you're going to feel like is all this blood is going to come into your brain, and what it makes you feel like, your brain is sharper and you are able to think better thoughts and you're able to study better and all that. And why movement is so important for a woman? Because it actually connects you to your body. Because when you work out, you start to feel your legs burning, your stomach burning. So it connects your mind to your body. And after a long period when you don't do anything, any movements, your mind is completely disconnected from your body. And how do you feel like? You do not feel good. But after moving, you're going to feel so much better. Even in the ancient Greek time, like the ancient Rome and the ancient Greek time. So there was, I think it's from Aristotle or something like that. But he said that actually one of the most important things for pleasure is movements on a daily basis. So people have known this for decades and whole hundreds of years. So movement on a daily basis, it's going to put you on your feminine energy. Number 3, boundaries. Okay, let me explain why boundaries. Okay, so boundaries, it connects you to your dark feminine energy. And the dark feminine energy, it is supposed to make you savage and magnetic. And you cannot be connected to your dark feminine energy if you don't have any boundaries and any standards. So if you're constantly like, yeah, okay, let's do that. Yeah, okay, okay, I'm going to allow the disrespect. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Then you do not have any boundaries. And your dark feminine energy is off. It's really magnetic and beautiful to be in your light feminine energy all the time, but if you don't have any dark feminine energy, the whole magnetic and sensual energy is missing. And if you connect the dark feminine energy to the light feminine energy, then you actually get the divine feminine energy, which is the highest form of all feminine energies. So do not be afraid to actually set boundaries. Boundaries are so important, and the only people who are going to be offended from your boundaries are the people that were using you. So do not be afraid to lose anything. Number 4, embrace playing. Playing is so important. And I know that every single human being, every adult, literally forgot about the beauty of playing. Because we forgot about it. We completely forgot about it. Like, we do not even know the word anymore, play. We do not know what it's like to play anymore. But if you think about your childhood, then everything you did was to play. And all children are in the highest form of feminine energy. I don't think that children have any masculine energy. And if you think about it, how happy and radiant and magnetic and authentic you were as a child, why not be like that now as well? And when you connect to your inner child and you actually start to do the things you loved to do when you were little and you start to do it again, that's actually the most beautiful thing in the world. So I remember that I loved to draw and I loved to dance. So I started to do that and I felt like I'm connecting to myself again. Actually, connecting to your feminine energy is also connecting to your inner child that sits within you. We all have that. Number 5, this was one of the most difficult things for me, was to release control, because I was a person that tried to control everything around me. I felt like if I don't have control, I'm lost. Then I learned that releasing control is actually true control. When you release control, everything around you starts to unfold itself. So when you are actually releasing control, that is true control. And this is paradox, but it's a truth. When you release control and you give it to God or the universe, that's when you start to attract. Okay, so I have a little story on that. It's the story of the bird. Because I was a person that struggled with trust so much. I did my work and I did not have any trust, and I went immediately in the desperate mode. So the bird every day wakes up. It has no food, but every day the bird has to go and hunt their food. So the bird doesn't actually sit in their nest, I don't know if it's called nest, and wait for the food to come all the time, but it wakes up every day. And when the bird goes out to hunt, it trusts that it is going to come home back with food. And this is literally how the world actually works. You do your work, okay? And you do it, you try to do it as good as you can. And you trust that whatever happens, you are going to succeed. Doesn't matter when, but you will succeed. That's how trust works. And if you have trust on everything, you are the highest form of feminine energy. Let's say you are actually looking for a partner. You try to become the best version of yourself and you have trust. When the right time appears, God will provide for you the perfect partner. And I remember one time when I started to chase because I wanted to have the perfect partner. So I was in my chasing energy all the time and it wouldn't happen. But as soon as I stopped caring about it, from one day to another, I attracted someone, which is insane. But this is literally the blueprint to life. When you actually release control and you have trust and you start to attract instead of chasing, you're going to get everything you desire. Number 6, stop rushing. Rushing kills your feminine energy. Rushing is actually so bad because when you rush, you're trying to make it, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I have to do it. Like, this is a form of chasing, first of all, and second of all, it's actually some sort of desperate energy as well. And whatever you are chasing and you're desperate for, it's never going to find you. Never ever going to find you. Okay, then I have another story on that. Let's say you live at a place. And at this place, there is a dog. And you try to catch the dog. You try to come close to the dog every single day. But every single time, the dog just seems to run away from you, okay? And then one day, you don't chase the dog. And maybe you have something in your pockets for the dog. Maybe a little treat for the dog. And all of a sudden, the dog is going to ask himself, why doesn't she chase me? What does she have? There's a little smell of a little treat. And all of a sudden, the dog starts to chase you. You have to understand that every single thing in the world takes time. When you think about planting a seed, the seed is in the earth and it doesn't disappear, right? And you actually know that the seed is not going to give you the flower from one day to another. but you actually have trust, and you know that when the time comes, the flower is going to bloom. This is how life works. So you put in the seed and you have trust that it is going to blow up one day. But stop rushing all the time. Stop rushing. When? You don't know when, and that's actually the beauty of life. But when you least expect it, that's when you get it. Every single thing in this world has its own time, and God knows when is the best time for us to get it. So there's nothing you could lose, okay? Nothing. When you are ready for it, when you're ready to receive it, you are going to get it. Number 7 is to practice self-care on a daily basis. When you look good, you feel good. That's just a matter of fact. Okay, and actually taking care of yourself is a huge form of self-respect. When you see someone outside looking like a mess, what do you think? You think that this person has no self-respect. And I know that every one of you maybe is going to say, no, that's not true, but it is true. You will actually not respect someone you see looking like a mess because you think this person doesn't even respect herself. And that's just a matter of fact. So practice self-care on a daily basis. I don't know, you could do your hair, do your makeup, do your skincare, put on nice clothes. You will actually see that there is a huge change in your energy, first of all, and how people see you and how you see yourself. Even if you do not feel like it, just put on some nice perfume or do your hair, put it in a ponytail, whatever makes you feel a little bit more groomed, just do it. You will notice a huge change in that. Number 8 is to start to learn how to receive without having any guilt. I know that a lot of women out there have so much guilt with receiving. Why is that? Why is it? Because we were raised by society that receiving as a woman is not good, which is wrong. You are meant to receive as a woman. And if you are with a masculine man and he tries to make you a nice treat or to give you a nice gift, you want to be able to receive. And if someone makes you a gift and you're like, no, I don't want it, this person is going to feel so offended. That's just a matter of fact. Let's say you're actually putting in the effort to make someone a nice gift and you're so happy to give it to the person and the person is not able to take it from you. How do you feel? So you want to be actually able to receive as a woman. Stop that limiting belief. Stop that false belief that receiving is shameful when it's not. You are supposed to receive as a woman. And I remember that I was like that too, because I was feeling so ashamed. Even when a man used to pay the bill at the restaurant for me, I used to feel ashamed. I was like, no, let me pay. Guys, when I tell you that right now, I don't even let these words, no, don't worry about it, let me pay, come out of my mouth, because I'm so comfortable receiving and it's such a huge difference. I could never go back. Because you constantly feel guilty for nothing when there's nothing to feel guilty about. Also, you feel so much better. You feel taken care of. You feel like a princess. You feel like you're actually being respected. So receiving is absolutely beautiful. And it is crucial for you to be able to receive if you want to be in your feminine energy, because feminine energy is about receiving. It's only about receiving. It's all about receiving. Number 9 is to tap into creativity. Creativity is, to me, one of the highest forms of feminine energy, because if I see someone being creative, I just know this person is in her feminine energy. This person knows what's going on. So whatever you like to do, whether it is like you like to paint, you like to make new designs, or you like to dance, you like to make new choreographies, or maybe being creative with your outfit, with your look. There's so many ways to be creative. Tap into creativity and you will notice a huge change. If you feel like, no, I can't be creative, then chances might be that your life force energy is off. And one of the reasons of that might be your nutrition. A bad nutrition actually turns off the life force energy, because that's what I noticed with myself as well. When I started to eat a lot more healthy and nutritious foods, guys, my life force energy was on top. Creativity is literally so important. And I also think that human beings are actually put into this world to be creative. If you think about it, if no one was ever creative in the whole history of human beings, then we wouldn't have any phones, we wouldn't have any houses, we wouldn't have any cars. Being creative is literally the highest gift. Number 10 is to balance masculine energy. Stop overdoing. Stop doing too much. Stop doing too much work. First of all, it's going to burn you out. Second of all, you're not going to be happy. Actually, if you think about it, if you just look into nature, then the moon is associated with the feminine energy and the sun is associated with the masculine energy, and the sun is also associated with the day. So the day is associated with the masculine energy and the night is associated with the feminine energy. So it means if there's something you need to do, you do it right after waking up, because that's first of all when it's going to be the easiest for you to do it and the most effective as well. I noticed that the things that I do right after waking up, it's so much easier for me. So much easier for me, and I get it done much quicker and better and with least effort. But if I'm procrastinating all day and I'm like, let me do it in the evening. Guys, in the evening, I do not want to do it anymore. I just want to sleep. I just want to read a nice book, have some tea, and put on a nice TV show, and that's it. Because the night and the evening is associated with feminine energy. So if you actually schedule your day like that after waking up in the morning, you do all the things you need to do, also going to the gym, for example, and in the night you do all the feminine energy things, your life is going to be so much more balanced and you're going to get things done more effectively. Guys, I noticed ever since I started to go to the gym, I always like to go in the evening. And first of all, I did not, every time it was time for going to the gym, I don't know, it was like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., even much more later, like 10 p.m., I absolutely would find every excuse to not go. But now I have put myself onto going to the gym right after waking up. And it's so much easier for me and the whole day is set because after waking up, I did my sports, so I'm good to go. I'm good all day. The whole day is more productive. So that's what I mean with balancing your masculine energy. I do not mean stop being in your masculine energy, because then you're actually not going to get anything done. And being disciplined as a woman is important also for your feminine energy. It sounds really paradox, but that's just life. But you want to do it more effectively and right after waking up, because that's when it's going to be the most effective. So yeah, any hard work, anything that takes a lot of effort and discipline, do it right after waking up, do it in the morning, and as soon as it hits afternoon, you're good to go and do all your feminine energy stuff. And you'll notice that your life will be so much better, so much more productive, and you're going to be more happy. And at last but not least, I just wanted to mention that I created my Amazon storefront for you with my favorite books. There are some amazing pieces on there that helped me so much with my mindset. So do not be afraid to check it out. And also don't be afraid to follow me on Instagram. And also do not be afraid to check out my own affirmation cards that I created for you in order to be the most radiant and magnetic version of yourself. And do not be afraid to subscribe to my channel, and see you soon, guys.